Welcome all. We have already started our lesson, that is the living world. We have also seen the characteristic of the living thing. The first one was the growth. The next one was respiration. The third one was responsiveness to the stimuli. Now we are going to see the next part of it, the next characteristic which is also important, that is reproduction. What is reproduction? If you have observed that we are looking like our parents, means some of the characteristics which are there in our parents are inherited within us also. If you see the young one of the dog or the young one of the cat, it is similarly looking like them itself. Might be difference in the color, but the structure, the way they walk, the way they eat, everything is same as their elder one. So what actually is this reproduction? If you observe these pictures given aside, a bird and its eggs, the bryophyllum, the mare and her foal, and rose cutting. What are these? So we'll see that only part. So we'll start with our reproduction. Living things produce other living thing like themselves. What they do? The living things which are there, they are producing another living thing same like themselves. Similarly like themselves. Some animals give birth to their young ones, some lay egg. If you see many of the animals, they are laying the eggs, but some of the animals, they are giving the birth to the young one. Same happen in human beings also. We are getting the birth, we are same like our parents. When you will be big, when you will reproduce later, your child will be same as you itself. Not in the face structure, not in the color sense, but same like you. The same eye, nose, ear, hand, legs, etc. Their young ones hatch out from the egg. New plants are produced from the seed, stem or the leaves of the plant. New plants also we can produce from the help with the help of the seed. If you sow one of the stem also, you can see the new plant is growing from it, from the leaves also. The process by which a living thing generates another new living thing. The process by which living things generates a new living thing same like itself is called as reproduction or procreation. Procreation means new creation same like itself. So what is the definition of reproduction? The process by which living thing generates a new living thing same like itself is called as reproduction. If you understand it more clearly, when we are creating another living thing same like itself, then that process is called as reproduction. Your mother gave birth to you, so she have generated another living thing same like themselves or same like itself. So yes, that process is called as reproduction. So reproduction is also one characteristic of a living thing. Why have you why have so many types of plants and animal able to survive on the earth even today? If you see rose, if one of the rose plant die also, will the all the species, or if you think all the species of roses will get over? No, because rose is not just one plant. If you see in your surrounding one rose plant, there will be variety present in many other places also. So if you kill one also, if you remove out that one plant also, you can see the same rose plant in the surrounding. So this is the main reason of the reproduction. If you observe in the above diagram present over here, the next characteristic is the definite lifespan. What is definite lifespan? I will just tell you. Whenever a human being takes birth or whenever a living creature takes birth, our death is decided. We don't know when we are supposed to die, but we will die one day, that is sure. I am speaking right now, I have almost completed my 25, but if you think later also, there is one day when I am also supposed to die. So every living thing or every living creature on this earth is one or the other day supposed to die. So we are having a certain lifespan, that is also called as a definite lifespan. A certain period is allotted to us, so we are supposed to survive in that particular period, and we are supposed to do something good in that period. Okay, so what is that definite lifespan? And it is also the main characteristic of the living thing. At the certain stage of life, the living things become capable of reproduction. If you see, if you observe a small puppy, a small young one of the dog, is it able to give birth to another few puppies? No. But after a certain age, or after few months or few years, if you see that dog is capable of giving a birth, or that dog is capable of giving birth to the younger ones. Same if you observe the plant. If you sow the seed, after sowing the seed, a small seedling comes out, a small plant comes out of it. Immediately will that plant gives you the flower? No, it will require a certain time for it to reproduce. After reproduction, it happens same about our living things, us human beings also. At a certain age only we are supposed to, or we are able to reproduce. After that age only we can reproduce, or we can give birth to someone. Later on the life reproduction stage, their organs become weak, and still later their life comes to an end. After few days, after your 50s, after your 60s, you are not able to give birth to anyone. All the organs will start performing little less, their functioning will be little less, and that is the reason they become very weak, and we are not able to reproduce later. Their life come to an end. So there is a certain time when we are supposed to die, and that particular organs are not supposed to perform as smoothly as they are performing now. In other words, living things die. Lifespan of the different animals and plants are also different. A ant, or if you consider a butterfly also, the butterfly lifespan and a human being lifespan, an elephant's lifespan and a tiger's lifespan, each and every one lifespan, the time they are going to survive is totally different. For example, a lifespan of a dog is about 12 to 18 years. A dog can survive heart to heart 12 to 18 years, not more than that. While an ostrich can survive for 50 years also. You may understand, or you may have wondered what exactly the living things are and how they came into being and so on. You will be wondering, there are so many characteristics present in us. Okay, so we will see the next one. Yes, the lifespan, they have given you one note over here, or do you know, they have told you something. The lifespan of a giant turtle found on the Galapagos Island in South America is about 170 years. This type of giant turtle which is found on that island, which is in South America, is about 170 years. We human beings have to take, I think so, twice the birth to see this one. Why? Because 170 means twice you are this one, what we can say, lifespan. On the other hand, a lifespan of a mayfly, a fly, ranges from 1 hour to 24 hours. Hardly 1 day or 1 hour itself. Not more than that. Okay. So we have seen about the characteristics just now. There is one more characteristic, that is the cellular structure. What is cellular structure? I will tell you one thing. Have you ever seen the honeycomb? Yes, you have seen how hexagonal shapes are present in a honeycomb. You can see over here these shapes which are present, that is the hexagon shape. Okay, you can see the walls also, how they have been fitted, how these bricks have been fitted inside. So same is our cellular structure. In same way, the cells in our body are present. Not the battery cell I am speaking about. I am speaking about the human cell which are present inside us. Now I will tell you one thing. There are the smallest unit of living being is the cell. Okay, so we'll study this. Living things are made up of small units called cell. What are living things made up of? All living things which are there, the plants, the animals, and we itself. We all are made up of the tiny or the small units. They are called to be as cells. All the actions and processes in the bodies of the living things are brought about with the help of these microscopic cells. So whatever the actions and whatever the processes which are carried out in our body are just because of these cells. So if any of the organ is not working or it is not performing the functions properly, if you feel you are having some problem in any of the organ, it's just because the cells are not performing well. It's not about you I'm speaking about, it's just the one who have almost completed their few years and they are experiencing their organs are not performing well. I'm speaking about them. So it's not about everyone, just keep this note into your mind. Some living things are made up of a single cell, while some are made up of many cells. There are single cells also, there are single cell organisms also, and such organisms who are having single cell, they are said to be as unicellular organism. Uni means one. The one who consists of one single cell is called as unicellular organism. For example, amoeba is a single cell. Amoeba, if you have listen this word anytime, if not also I will just at the end of this lesson I'll just show you the picture also of the amoeba. It is a single cell organism. And on other hand, the living things that are made up of many cells are said to be as multicellular organisms. So here you have understood the two main definitions. The first definition is unicellular organisms, the one who consists of single cell, and multicellular, multi means many. The one who consists of many cells are said to be as multicellular organism. The amoeba and some other microorganisms are unicellular, while man, cow, mouse, cockroach, elephant, banyan tree, etc. are multicellular. I have just now told you the amoeba is one of the unicellular organism, whereas human beings, we, cow, buffalo, whatever the animals, plants which are present, they are multicellular. All the characteristics, plants, etc. are multicellular organism. All the characteristics of the living things are seen in every cell of the living thing. It's not just about in your whole body. This process is within in each and every cell it is going on, and that's why our organs are functioning smoothly. Whether it is unicellular or it is multicellular. If it is single cell, then that single cell performs the whole functions. If it is multiple cell organism, each and every cell carry out the function. So, cell is the smallest unit of the living organism. So, cellular structure is also the main characteristics of the living thing, even though the number of the cells may vary. If cell number also vary, if it is single, if it is double, if it is more than that also, cellular structure is one of the main characteristics of the living thing. Okay, the next part which is been present over here, the institute at work and the useful living things, we are going to study in our next lesson. Thank you.